guys, welcome back. In today's video we'll be reviewing the Athearn GP38-2. This is a Norfolk Southern scheme and it's a high hood version. I've gotten a lot of requests for the GP38-2, including somebody requested it on the SDP45 review, but most of the requests have come for the high hood version of Norfolk Southern, so I was able to acquire one here. Now this is the sound unit. It MSRPs for $269.98. And the non-sound unit, which is DC equipped, or it just has DC with a DCC quick plug, which means you can plug in a 9-pin like DH123 Digitrax decoder or some other 9-pin decoder. Those MSRP for $169.98. So let's take a closer look at this model and see what you get for your MSRP of $269.98. So this is going to be a bit of a quicker review since this item's been out for a while, but it is in stock at Athearn.com, and local hobby shops and brick and mortar hobby shops still have them, retail, online, things like that. They've still seen them around, they're still readily available. But this we're going to unbox really quickly in front of you, and inside you get the standard warranty card. Just a 1-year limited warranty from Athearn, Athearn news flyer, and the GP38-2 manual. Now the manual is the nice Genesis manuals that are nice gloss covered. This happens to be 22 pages long. Working from the back, we've got CVs, functions on the decoder, which is a Tsunami decoder. You've got some troubleshooting, exploded parts diagram, lubrication points. And further up, you have some information on the GP38-2s. Like I mentioned before, this is a high hood version of the Norfolk Southern, the most requested from the modelers that I've gotten requests from online, both on my YouTube messaging, Facebook messaging, things like that. That's what you get in the box. Go ahead and pull it out here of the foam and hard plastic. Go ahead and slip this out. Athearn's changed their packaging just a slight bit from previous versions, you know, with a little more bracing. As you can see, there's truck bracing there. It kind of keeps things nice for the model without doing any damage to the model in transit or while it's waiting to be purchased by some modeler. Go ahead and get these out of here. You shouldn't have to wait for this, but try to let you see what you're getting out of the box right away, so why edit any video? Alright, let's go ahead and talk about this model from front to back with some of the details, and we will then start it up and let you hear some sounds. Okay, here's an up-close look at the model. I encourage you guys that are real enthusiasts of Norfolk Southern and these locomotives to view this in 1080p HD. You can see the little gear button on your right hand corner bottom of this video. You can change it all the way to 1080p HD, or you'll be able to see all the great detail of this locomotive. As it's not my era or something I model too much or at all, I don't really model that era or this road much, I would highly suggest that if I miss anything, just look at the video and see for yourself. But we are going to work our way from the front to the back. You've got some nice incandescent headlights here. Up at the top, you've got the number boards, which are not lit, Norfolk Southern logo, which is nicely done. You've got handrails that are thin. They are a little thin, but they're durable. They aren't popping off of or breaking right here. You've got the yellow area for the stairway here. You've got safety tread once you get up on the walkways, and you've got ditch lights on this end of the locomotive, as well as a little platform above the coupler. McHenry couplers are equipped on this locomotive. You've got MU cables with silver tipped ends, painted, so they did a nice detailed job on those silver tipped MU hoses. We're going to work our way further up a bit. Now you're getting a little bit of distortion here. That is because of my light on my camera, so I'll turn it down a bit. but that Norfolk Southern logo on the side is nice and clear. So if the light is blaring at any and making it fuzzy in appearance, it is not actually fuzzy in appearance at all. You've got the road number, cab number right here on the side. You've got interior detail on the cab. You've got the sunshade here. You've got nice trucks with all pickup wheels here on this model. You've got the fuel tank nicely done. Handrails on the side that are firm and in place without any problems. I don't see any waves in the handrails, so it was nicely done on this model without any handrail distortion at all, even though they are plastic handrails. We're going to move towards the back. Same thing here with the staircase, the yellow safety markings, a very little yellow safety warning back here that is clear under magnification, with all the warning labels clear under magnification. You've got the bell, which is mounted off the back here, and you've got grab irons, and we'll take a closer look at the end and top of this locomotive. So looking at the end of this locomotive, you've got the horn, which is mounted on the front that I mentioned, is also mounted on the back, which is correct for the prototype. You've got handrails, separately applied grab irons or ladder that goes up to the top of the roof here. It's nicely done, very thin and prototypically correct. You've got the back handrails, which are well done, and the back ditch lights. Now both front and back have ditch lights, just like the prototype. You've got your McHenry coupler back here, and you have a coupler cut lever as well on the front and back of this locomotive. As you can see from this view, the handrails are very straight. I'm not having any problems with handrails being wavy or anything like that, which I notice some people mention sometimes on some models. Let's take a quick look at the top. I'll show you a quick view of the other side, and we'll wrap this review up with some running, weight, and things like that. As you can see on this model, they've got windshield wipers both front and back, but I wanted to show you the windshield wipers on the back. They appear to be metal. They're nicely done and very accurate. You've got safety tread all the way along this walkway along the side, and as I zoom out, you can start to see the roof detail on this locomotive, dustbin hatch, things like that, the radiator fans, dynamic braking fan, exhaust, all nicely done. On the top, you've got a firecracker antennas, and you've got some grab irons on the top as well, and a sand filler hatch on both the top and or the front and back of this locomotive. So again, nice detail by Athearn, nice job on these GP38-2s. Just seeing this model surprises me that it hasn't been a complete sellout yet. It hasn't been released for too long, but it has been out for a little while. So it's a really great job on this model by Athearn, and it's really well done. So there's a view of the top. We'll take a quick view of the bottom here, which just shows you the fuel tank and the wheels. As you know, on most locomotives, there's not a whole lot of detail on the bottom because you got to have some functionality, but you do have sand filler lines running to all four trucks here that are in place on this model. So now let's throw her on the scale, and then we'll get her started up so you can hear the sounds of the model. So the scale's been tared out, so let's go ahead and place this on. We've got 381 grams on this model, and we're going to go ahead and switch to ounces. We got 13.4 ounces, and we also have 0.381 or 0.382, it's bouncing around, kilograms. So that should give you guys all the metrics and US measurements for you to know exactly how much this locomotive weighs. Has a pretty good weight for the small model it is. Let's go ahead and listen to some sounds and operation. As most of you know, with the Tsunami decoders from the factory, you've got a startup sequence when you apply track power. I haven't done that yet with this model. I've basically gone about this review while I'm going along in the process with you, so we don't cover anything up, don't have any sugar coating. You guys know what you're getting. So I'm going to apply track power to the first time of this model, and we should hear a startup sequence. Here's the startup sequence. Now let's quickly listen to the bell and horn. There's the bell, obviously. You've got CVs you can tweak for different bells. Horn. That was the long horn. Here's the short horn. So we'll do a quick grade crossing sequence for you. There you go, so you can hear how the bell and horn go together. I'll do that real quick for you as well. So there you have the bell and horn noises. I'm going to go ahead and change this to 128 speed steps on my MRC Prodigy wireless controller, and we'll see how smoothly this operates. I'm going to go in reverse first. I actually turned off the sound, so that's my fault. It's very smooth. That's 2 speed steps right there. I'm going to go ahead and come back forward here. I'm going to go ahead and crawl at 1 speed step just so you see how smooth the drive is. Now you've got lit headlight and ditch lights on both ends. I noticed the ditch lights do not blink, or flash I mean, like the prototype, but you have that anyway. I think it's probably a decoder function issue, the amount of functions available on that decoder installed, but just wanted you guys to know that. But it moves along pretty smoothly. That's 1 speed step. This hasn't been broken in at all, and look at the way it's running. There you get to hear it notch up a bit at speed step 6. Even more so coming back at speed step 18. So a very smooth drive and nice sounds coming from this locomotive. I'm going to switch it around to the other side. I'm going to show you the how the headlight and the ditch lights look, and then we'll wrap this review up. So there's that headlight and ditch lights with some light on it. I'm now going to bring the light down so you can see those incandescent bulbs. Look very prototypically correct. I think they're nicely done. Some of the nicest appearance I've seen on Athearn locomotives of these incandescent bulbs. They're bright, they're vibrant, they have a nice golden color, and they really capture the bulbs on the prototype. So that's that end. I'll switch around and show you the other end, and then we'll, like I said, recap all this. So I've got the sound on this end because on this end, which is the long hood, it's away from the cab, you actually get the ditch lights flashing like the prototype. It's just they don't work on the other end because, like I said, there's a function limitation on that decoder in there, so they had to pick an end, and these usually run long hood forward. So the company picked the right end, and I think the blink rate is nicely done. But again, with CVs, you can program and change the blink rate or anything. So it's a real nice job by Athearn. This is a great locomotive. It looks really nice, really well done. Even though this isn't my era or road really, I do a little bit of Norfolk Southern, mostly in the heritage units, but it's a real nice locomotive, and it really catches the eye, and it's real nice, real nicely done. So let's wrap this review up. So I was actually pleasantly surprised with this locomotive. For its size, it really packs a punch on the detail and some real nice, just kind of eye candy, I call it. They did a real nice job on the locomotive. Again, the MSRP is $269.98. You can find it sometimes in your local hobby shops or online retailers. But you also have the option of purchasing it on Athearn.com for $269.98. So you can go to their website if you can't find it or you just want to buy it directly from them. But really great locomotive. I mean, it's a little light, but I mean, it's small, so you're going to have it kind of light. But it still packs a lot of punch. I think my favorite feature of the locomotive is the fact that it has those nice incandescent bulbs that really are bright and look accurate to the prototype. I think they did a great job. I know you've got your LED folks, but I'm kind of an incandescent guy myself, so you know, I'm sure I'll take the hit in the comments or whatever, but it was nice to see how well those looked, and it was also great to see that they had flashing ditch lights on one end, because when I saw on the other end, as I was recording the review, I thought maybe there weren't going to be any flashing ditch lights at all, but you have them on the long hood end, which is the way most of these locomotives run or ran. I think they're still around. Again, I'm not real strong on the Norfolk Southern stuff or this era of thing, but I think this ran mostly in the 80s. So there's not a whole lot of information online like some of the stuff the manufacturer puts out about it, but what you've got is a DCC decoder with sound in this model, or you've got the DC version with that quick plug where you can put in a 9-pin decoder. So overall, I highly suggest this locomotive if you're a Norfolk Southern fan, especially if you're in that sort of era. And that's about it. I think I've covered everything I can, and feel free to chime in. And again, 1080p will tell all on the detail. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time right here on my channel. Take care.